We'll be getting started shortly, ladies and gentlemen. Today I'm going to be going over some training about business overhead expenses. This is the lane of life interest that you may not know that has a lot to do with being in business. It's very important for a lot of y'all. said, I'd like to have y'all. Rolling in, ladies and gentlemen. Hit that like, drop a comment, subscribe. As always, share. This is information that folks don't need. I need your help and help others. Hey, what's up, brother? You definitely want to enjoy this. Again, this is on expense. So this is expense for businesses and business owners. So we pertinent to things that we got going. Like another 2 minutes, y'all. Shout out to I'm always wearing my college money. Now. What's going on? All right. Let me pause this really quick. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy, the insurance junkie, your fiduciary fella, the all-star advisor Alonzo Hall, your social media insurance bro. And today, we're going to be doing some training on business overhead expenses. And this is an actual training for actual agents so that we can learn how to serve businesses and business owners a little better. So this is not just for me. This is for me and my team. This generally isn't stuff that goes to the general public, but you guys know I like to give you guys the kind of the inside track. So having the inside track, the beauty is that you guys are going to get to see firsthand what we train on. The reason I say that is because it's important, because when I talk to people a lot, your first reaction, a lot of people send me some information. I'm going to do my own research. Sir, ma'am, I'm glad you're willing to do your due diligence. It sounds nice when a lot of these fake ass financial people online tell you to do your own due diligence. The problem is this. They're telling you to do your own due diligence on exactly what they're telling you to search. The reality is You can't do your own research. Let me explain to you why. You don't know what to research, right? I'll make it analogous to sports. If I am a person who is a casual basketball fan, I know who LeBron James is. I know who Kobe Bryant is. But if I'm a casual basketball fan, I may not know who even Lamar Odom is, or I may not know who Smush Parker is, or I may not know who George the Iceman Gervin is, right? But if I'm a person who studies basketball and really knows basketball, I know the stats and the this, that, and the third, and the history of the team and all this. That person actually studied it. So you're not even going to know what to research, who had the most triple doubles ever, things like that. All of that stuff matters. So give me a second here. Let me see if this training is getting started. Nobody is showing up to the training yet, I guess. Let's see. Well, we will be starting soon, I'm hoping. But nobody has showed up as of yet. So until they show up, I'll just keep blabbing and keep it going. So in the interim, let's go to Google, right? Because you might, like I said, your Google search pales in comparison to the actual training. So let's go to Google really quick, right? And let's type in, what is a BOE? What is a BOE insurance policy, right? So it says business overhead expense insurance is usually a type of disability insurance designed for business owners and professionals. It helps cover the ongoing expenses of a business, such as rent, utilities, and employee salaries if the business owner becomes disabled and unable to work. By paying these fixed expenses, BOE insurance helps ensure the business can continue operating while the owner recovers. So what is that saying there for you, ladies and gentlemen? What that is saying is, hey, listen, the reality is this. Give me 1 second. Let me throw my phone on the charger. If you're in an event where your business is operating, but maybe not operating at optimal status because you're not physically there to participate. And if you're not physically there to participate, then your business isn't operating optimally. Why is my phone not charging? Still on charger? Where's my phone charger? Give me 1 second, y'all. I had to charge my phone. It's at 16%. I'm going to need my phone charge. There we go. Is there a new link? There's a new link. Okay. No wonder. There's a new link. Maybe that's why nobody was at this particular meeting, because we have a new link for it. So let's go to my Gmail. And close that one. Let's see here. New link for call today. Join. Join from your browser. JUNU7D. Join meeting. Let's see. Yeah, that's what happened.
A lot deeper into the specifics of what that individual expense amount is. Now, once you have totaled, we've got a few more people joining us. I want to be mindful of that. Once you have totaled the best that you can what those monthly expenses would be, what the best thing to do next is to really get in and just run an illustration. So how we run a BOE illustration is we are going to go to I'm going to start on, this is the classic view of Producer Workbench, and I'm just going to click on Create an Illustration. I'm going to arrow down here to Illustration Pro. Illustration Pro is what we use for our DI and BOE. Your name, just like in Life Designs, would be filled in. I'll go ahead and go in as myself. Has a little different look and feel. I'm going to create an illustration. I'm going to create a new client for that illustration. We'll just go with a value. Whoops, I went right past the last name. We're going to go with valued client. We can run this for I don't know, should we do a 40-year-old? 40-year-old male. Let's start with that. Let's go to next. Where are we going to do this? Good old state of New York. And we'll hit next. We're going to do a new business illustration and do next. Now, this is where you would want to make sure you have the BOE product selected as the product type under disability. Hit create an illustration. So if you have not been on Illustration Pro before, you just need to go through and select the fields, drop down arrow that are available. Just like with any other illustration, we have to get an idea of what type of rate class, or in DI, they call it an OC class, to quote this gentleman. You'll notice that we have a summarized list of industries and occupations listed here. Whatever you zone in on, you could do a search. I do that a lot. If I don't know what section it's in, maybe I will just search a certain actual occupation, or I will go in and look which one best matches what the client's actual occupation and duties. And remember, just a job title does not give a good indication of what somebody does on a monthly basis. I always tell people, find out what their actual duties are. Once we find something that's close enough, remember the underwriter is going to give the final occupation class determination. This is something you can pivot. Once it's approved, you can always change the OC class. Do we want to do a benefit period of 12, 18, or 24 months? I'm going to go with the 24 months. Elimination period, that's the amount of time that has to pass in the disability before benefits will start being paid. I'm going to go with the minimum, which is 30. Rating, don't worry about that unless the underwriter tells you that the client has been rated. Now we have to calculate what kind of benefit amount. And remember, we could pull that right off of the worksheet. So if I come to you with $5,000 of monthly expenses for my business, I can put that benefit amount in right there. Remember, we do have a couple of different discounts available. If you were doing a multi-life situation, or if they were part of an association, you could click on that. Riders, we do have a handful of riders that could be added to this BOE policy. There is a residual. Remember, residual, it treats almost like partial disability is how that works. So if it's not completely away from work, but residually or partially, we do have a business loan repayment rider that they would be able to add on if they had a business loan that they wanted their BOE to make payments on. And then the future increase option, this gives the client the opportunity to have a benefit that increases over time. When I run an illustration, I usually check mark the optional boxes. I feel like that just gives a nice complete overview. Let's do a preview. So for this particular New Yorker, I ran a 40-year-old gentleman. I made him an occupation class 4A for a $5,000 monthly benefit to cover his overhead expenses. Let me make this a little bit bigger so you can see it. So we're looking at an affordable $94.64 a month. I like to show people, here's where all the descriptions of the policy provisions are. And then we do have our premium alternatives page that gives the 30, 60, and 90-day elimination, as well as the 12, 18, and 24 months. So this gives, like I said, a nice starting point for you all to be able to run a BOE illustration. My apologies. I always say DI is not my first language. I do know the premise of it. I can run illustrations. I can understand the need and talk about the need. But as far as doing a deeper dive, I think we'll let you leave that to the experts. But I did want to at least show you how to run an illustration. Now, a couple of things that I told when the DI presentation needed to be rescheduled, I talked to Charles and I'm like, I do have a couple of updates that I would like to share with the group. So the first thing I'm going to show you is we have a refresh design for eApply that launches on Friday. But it's not functionality at this point. It is basically a design to give a clean, modern look and feel. You're going to notice some navigation changes, some layout changes. We have replaced the activity buttons with kind of a navigation menu. We're also, like I said, instead of seeing the blue and green, you're now going to see red. Uh, the red and green, the blue fields are no longer blue. They're going to be red. I don't have a lot, but I would like to show you. This is not a published document, but I did want to give you all just kind of an idea of what this user interface. So if you can kind of imagine this as your landing screen, you'll see that you're going to have new activity as a blue button up here and all your recent activity listed here. And you would get to that by clicking on the activities on the left-hand side. By clicking on activities, you're going to see all the recent activity in your eApply. If you go to wanting to start a new application, you're going to click on New Activity in the upper right-hand corner, that blue button right there. And now this should look somewhat familiar. You're still going to see your accelerated, your application, and your paper upload buttons. Remember, in New York, all of our life insurance applications are started doing the application button. If you are outside of New York and you are doing a non-medical or an accelerated underwriting app, you would click this first tile right here. Once you select, you're going to use this blue button in the lower right-hand corner. It says select and configure package. So that is new verbiage. So that might kind of be something that you go, oh, wow, this is different. So I wanted to make sure y'all know this goes live on Friday if it goes according to schedule. So then once you have selected your application, then you're going to click on activity details. Again, I always tell people if something is enabled and it has an arrow for continuing, even though it doesn't say the word continue or next, that's a good indication that you're going to want to click it. And again, same thing here. It says activity details. Once you click on that, you're going to name your application. I do want you to know that I do run into quite a number of applications for agents that are not named, which it may not seem like a big deal, but it can be when you're going back and maybe trying to access information off of an application. I do always recommend putting your client's name in the name of the application. That way, then when they receive it, they will see their name on that application. Once you name the application, then you can click on Create Activity. Again, that's the blue button in the lower right-hand corner. Now, as I mentioned, you're not going to see the blue fields anymore. You're going to see red fields because red indicates that it's outstanding and it's something that needs to be completed. So you're also going to notice all the outstanding forms on that application are listed on the right-hand side. They're calling this the wizard screen, and this is automatically going to be open on the right-hand side. If you don't want to see this, if you click this blue icon button right here, you will be able to collapse that wizard screen. I think it will be helpful because you'll know what still needs to be completed. Remember, you're still going to have that green bar. It is moved a little bit. It's going to be under the data entry section. And so as that approaches 100%, you'll be able to see your completion. But remember, what needs to be out completely still done is going to be listed on that right hand side. So don't remember how you used to click it and it would give you a drop down kind of menu here. Well, now it's going to be over on the right hand side. So again, I want to stress that it's not the functionality that's changing. It really is that look and feel and trying to make it just a little more streamlined for you all as the user. And remember, if you do collapse that, what needs to be completed, if you click this little blue icon right here, then that will open up your wizard screen again. There is not a other actions tab anymore. They've replaced it with a button called more. And now you have, uh, once you get to 100%, you'll see right here, all fields are complete, and you'll be able to click, there is a continue button right there. So those are the changes there. So remember, it's the look and feel. The navigation might feel a little different, but again, it's not functioning any different. Now, the other thing I wanted all of you to know, because some of you on the line have been with us for a little while, I want to make sure everyone is aware of the change that we made on term conversions. If you are using our Value Plus UL, for a term conversion, please note that that product will only be available for term conversions through the end of this month. Starting July 1, you will need to use either a whole life contract or an IUL contract for your term conversions. The Value Plus UL is not going away for new business purposes. It's only being eliminated for term conversion options. Just so you know, the Value Plus UL and the Value Plus IUL has very similar targets. I just happen to run a minimum premium for a Value Plus UL for a 60-year-old female. It was $60 a month for 100,000 at Preferred Plus. And if you pivoted to the Value Plus IUL, the minimum premium was $72. So what do you get for 60 versus 72? The $60 Value Plus UL has a no lapse guarantee of 15 years, and the minimum no lapse period for the Value Plus IUL is 20 years. So the difference between $60 and $72 is basically where you're getting a little extra of the guarantee, that no lapse guarantee death benefit. Trying to think what else I would share with you. We do have let's see. Oh, if anybody does the software download, that's another thing I could point out. When you run your life insurance illustrations, if you are using the downloaded version instead of the web version, please note that we will be retiring the downloaded version starting July 1. I personally only use the web version. It's always up to date. You don't have to worry about it not being updated. So if any of you are using downloaded software, please know you'll need to start using the web version starting July 1. Always remember, when you're on Producer Workbench, we always have our list of upcoming webinars under attend an event. We do have weekly, this was supposed to be a DI focused call. I do want you to know that they do run a DI Connect webinars every week. They're typically always on Tuesdays. So that is something that you could keep in mind that if you'd like to attend on your own. And then we do have a variety of Sales Connect webinars that happen throughout the month. We will do a really nice job of giving you an overview. If you click on more, you'll see the event calendar listed out in its entirety till the end of the month, and you're going to see a lot of WebExes. So if you are looking for training opportunity, definitely go under event calendar. Any of you that are looking to get maybe a little brush up on some product training, if you go to the Learning Center and then click on training, please note that we have these tutorial videos listed under different sections. So here's all your life insurance policy contract types. Here's our annuities. Here's some on DI. Here's some on the agent app that we have available. E-apply, running an illustration. So I want to make sure everyone is aware that that is under our learning center. Since we have not a really large group on the line, and again, I didn't have really much prepared, but I wanted to still meet with everyone when I heard we had some technical difficulty on your DI side. What else do you guys want to know? Do you have questions? We could just open it up for Q&A. Or Charles, if there's something else you'd like me to share, let me know.
No, I didn't have anything to share, but thank you,
Okay,
Christy. I think
Nicole
they
has
had
a
some weather. I
question.
know they had some weather in West Virginia, so and I think it's coming
Oh,
from that direction. But yeah, Nicole had a question. You can unmute yourself,
yeah.
Nicole.
Yeah. Nicole, what's up?
Hi,
How are you?
I am very well. Good morning.
Good
Um,
morning.
with the updates on the platform, when you do an illustration, is it can it be converted straight into the application if, for instance, the individual wants to move forward with
Mhm.
the product?
You know, I have got to tell you, that is a wish of mine. We do not have integration between the illustration software and the eApply system. We are going to be getting to, I know, trust me, Alonzo, you're preaching to the choir. Um, we are going to get some integration. I don't know at what date. We are going to get some integration as far as signing, being able to submit, signed illustrations and things like that. But as far as the data, it does reside in two separate systems. So my apologies. I would love to make it easier on all of you.
You can bring it from Nicole. You can import it from Redtail into the eApply system.
Ooh, good answer.
You
Good
have
answer.
if you have the client profile in Redtail, excuse me, when you start to do the application, it asks you, you
Hmm.
can import the information, and it'll have at least the address, the phone numbers. It'll have you still got
Sure.
to complete, but it'll download it'll import some information on there.
No,
Christy, I
that's
don't know
great.
if you have time, can you
Thank
run
you.
like do a whole life illustration with the showing the flexible paid up rider being paid up in
I
like
can.
20 years and
20 pay.
money coming out of the policy. Yeah, if you don't mind just doing that real quick. Because I don't know, I have to call you every time I want to build that.
No worries. No worries. Okay.
Just
So let's see if I get
since we're having open mic today. So I
it is
appreciate
open mic. Are you going to start singing?
it. You don't want me to sing. I'll run everybody off the call. Trust me. I want me to start singing.
I love it. I love
So
it. Okay.
Linda,
Let's
Rosaline, Ned, this is time, and Chrissy was nice enough to help Chris Murdoch out. Now I have to reschedule. We're still on for next week too, Chrissy, right? The annuity session, correct?
We are doing an annuity session on Tuesday at 12:15, I believe.
Thank you.
That sound right? Okay, why am I not getting now? I do see in my internal chat that we have, when people say there's system problems going on, that is a real thing. The life designs like I said, some of my coworkers were having issues. So let's try it one more time. Yeah, we might, your wish may not be my command if I can't get into it, Charles. Sorry, let's see. Do you see how it's just sitting there? Oh, wait, is it moving? No. Shoot. I am not going to show you how to do it, but we can talk through it just real quick. You know me, I like to chat with the best of them. And when we do paid up editions, first of all, on the first screen of your software, that is going to be where your base premium information goes. So if you're doing, you know, $100,000 death benefit, there is a base premium that goes with that $100,000 death benefit. The whole life, you always have to remember you have base premium, and then if you're going to put any additional in, it goes into paid up additions. So base premium is tied to the death benefit, right? Base premium tied to death benefit. When we come up with, let's say our base premium is $100 and we would like to overfund that by $50, we're going to go into writers. We're going to go into our FPUR, which is our flexible paid up writer. We will then, under scheduled premium, we would put in $50. We would make sure that the mode is set to monthly. Sometimes it happens to people. The mode on the base premium and the mode on the paid up ads gets off. So you want to make sure, in my opinion, I make sure both is set up monthly if you're going to do monthly, or annual if you're going to do annual. And then there's a to age and an ending age. That's where you do your 20 years, because it's going to be based off of age. So then we would put whatever the client's age is plus 20 years, put that in as the to age. That shows our $50 extra going in. Then if we want to solve for income coming out, we can go into what I think is the easiest, and just do solve for and go right into the distributions, and we can solve for max, and we will go right into telling it what year we want to start distributions, what year we want to end distributions. We can select max, and it will give us sample distributions. So I know it's much easier to see it in action on the software, but apparently not only did your call not happen today, my life designs is not working. It's just a plain old white screen. Isn't that great?
When technology work is great, but when it doesn't work.
Well, it's just like right now. I always complain. So right now we're talking, right? So I have a headset on. It is not through a phone, like my phone, my grandkids, by the way. It's not on my phone. It's through the computer. We're talking through the computer. So guess what? We're slaves to the technology, even at the home office level. Drives me crazy. I'm like, what happened to phones, right? Remember the corded? Does anybody know what a rotary phone is? I know Charles does.
You know,
I know Rosalind does.
Yes, I do too.
You guys have the super, super long cord. So like where in my home, when I was a teenager, I was in the basement of my folks' home and the phone was on the wall. So I like could stretch it. I stretched that cord out. Oh man, I made that go a good 30 feet. It was awesome. It wasn't that hard.
Yeah, updating me, Christy.
I'm old. But you guys, I mean, anybody that's got, I'm gonna say 50 plus, we all know
I
what a
those,
corded
yeah.
phone was. I love it.
All right.
Well,
Anybody?
besides reminiscing about the 70s and 80s, what else can I help you? I've got a few minutes. I do have a hard stop in about 5 minutes, but I can definitely answer any other last minute questions. Well, as far as trainings, I don't know about, again, if you look at the attendant event, the advanced planning team is putting out a lot. Now, here's I know it would have been right up your alley. Have you ever heard of our BOOM school for business? You've been to BOOM, okay. Because anybody that hasn't been to the Business Owners Market School, I highly recommend that. There is a ton of webinars that they host. And not only do they have webinars, they actually have a lot of complete solutions where they have a lot of material focused on the business owner market. So our advanced planning team is a really good resource for you. Now, have you ever done a session with one of the advanced planning folks?
Well, that's what
Charles,
I
have you
was
had
going to
like
say.
Troy?
That's what I was going to say. If Alonzo, you want a specific session, just text me, let me know. We had Cal Runyon. He just came on a
Oh yeah.
couple weeks ago,
What'd Kyle
and
do?
he went over the dual executive reward, which was
Oh,
great.
sure. Yep.
I'm
Yep.
working with him. I'm working with him. I have some estate planning, and he's great with that. So if you have
About 5 more minutes.
anything in
Yeah, and I'll be
particular,
done.
Alonzo, just let me know and I can
Yeah,
set it up.
11:45 is my hard stop.
Yep.
Sorry.
I'm
Sorry
good.
about that.
That's okay.
Oh, well, how cool. Hmm. It's your paycheck. That's right. It's your money. Yep. Yep. I always,
And with this particular product, because this is what we're talking about was the business overhead, which you can pay the rent, the salaries, and then you have another sale. You can sell, cover the personal income. So you can actually get
right.
two policies
Two.
for business owners,
Absolutely.
BOE and the personal.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I do
All right.
probably DI a disservice, but I can tell you, I always tell people flip a coin, flip a coin. That accident or that illness, does it take your life or does it just, cause you to not be able to work? That if you say it's that we protect for premature death all the time, right? And I love life insurance. I mean, that's what I cut my teeth on. But DI, like you said, Alonzo, it's actually a lot statistically, that illness or injury is going to disable you before it kills you, to be honest with you.
All right, Christy. Thank you. I know you have to run
All
now.
right. I
And thanks
do.
everyone.
Sorry.
And we will see you next week. All right.
Yes. Yes. All right.
Excellent.
Everybody take
Take care.
care.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
All
Bye.
right. Bye-bye. You betcha. Bye-bye.
All right, guys. So I had to pause that. Ironically enough, I am doing some actual training on my own in retirement planning. I'm doing some, this is the financial planning process. I've already actually completed this training. I also do have some other business owner training that I intend on doing. I'm not going to drag you guys through this. So that's going to be it for today, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure to hit that like, drop a comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you're made aware every time I release new content. And as always, share, share, share. Lastly, contribute to channel growth or to schedule an appointment with a licensed financial professional. The links are in the description of this video. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, wipe ass, work in progress every day and see success. And remember, when people challenge you, they don't challenge you to challenge you, but they challenge you to challenge you. Accept the challenge. Salute.